Heaven's timing is never wrong. If you're seeing this right now, it means you were destined to read it. My beloved child, a stirring moves in the unseen realms tonight, and Archangel Michael has pressed this message into the atmosphere with urgency. Heaven's timing is never wrong. If you're seeing this right now, it means you were destined to read it, because something in your life has reached a divine tipping point. Every delay you faced, every moment of confusion, every door that felt painfully sealed, none of it was random. You were being positioned. And Michael wants you to know that heaven has finally aligned the hour of release. There is a moment, one sacred moment, when what felt impossible suddenly becomes the only possible outcome. And you, chosen one, have stepped into that moment right now. Michael is showing me an image of a clock made of pure light, and its hands have just clicked into divine alignment. This isn't normal timing. This is appointed timing. You are not here by accident. Your spirit was pulled into this message because something written in heaven's book about you is beginning to activate. A shift is happening around your house, your relationships, your destiny. Michael says there were battles you never saw, wars fought in the spirit that you'll only understand later. But every tear you cried watered the soil for a harvest that is now rising. Heaven has waited for this window, this exact moment, to bring clarity to something that's been stirring in your heart. Listen closely, there is a breakthrough forming that was once blocked. There was a blessing delayed because the atmosphere around you wasn't ready to hold it. But Michael says that the atmosphere has now cleared. The resistance has broken. Your name has been spoken in high places, and the road before you is being purified. You may have wondered why God took so long, why the promise felt like it was drifting further away. But heaven's timing doesn't bend to frustration. It bends to purpose. If it had come earlier, it would have crushed you instead of elevating you. But now you're ready. And the realms above have opened to release what your heart has been aching for. Archangel Michael stands at your threshold right now, not metaphorically, but spiritually. He is guarding your next steps, ensuring nothing touches what heaven is delivering to you. He wants you to be alert, because with divine timing also comes divine responsibility. Prepare yourself emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. What's coming requires space. There is also a message about endings. Something in your life is quietly wrapping up. An old season, an old pattern, an old bond, something you've outgrown is loosening its grip. You may feel it already, a strange inner detachment from things that once felt familiar. That's not confusion. That's transition. Michael says you're being moved into a higher frequency where old energies can no longer follow you. But hear this, your life is about to surprise you. Heaven is about to move faster than you expect. What was stagnant is about to be stirred. And the signs you've been noticing, repeated numbers, strange inner nudges, sudden waves of emotion, weren't coincidences. They were heaven's attempts to get your attention, preparing you for this very moment. Something magnificent is coming into alignment for you, but the next part of this message will reveal the key detail Michael has been waiting for the right moment to tell you. Hold your spirit steady. You're closer to your miracle than you realize. Before you move from this moment, type "I align with heaven's clock" in the comments if this word resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 144 is now activated. And don't shift your eyes away yet. What unfolds next will connect everything heaven has been whispering to you. Dearest heart, there's a stirring in the air around you that heaven has been crafting for far longer than you realize. Archangel Michael is drawing even closer now, and his presence carries a truth you must hear with careful attention. When heaven declares that its timing is never wrong, it is not a poetic statement. It is a spiritual law. The very moment you are reading this, the very second your eyes fall upon these words, you are encountering something your soul agreed to long before you stepped into this lifetime. Nothing is accidental, not even your curiosity. You were summoned into this moment because the divine timeline you once prayed about has finally begun to move. You have lived seasons where everything felt out of sync, where your spirit moved faster than your life could keep up, and you wondered why your faith carried you one way while your circumstances pulled you another. Michael says this tension was purposeful. Heaven was not ignoring you. Heaven was conditioning you. Every delayed blessing created deeper wisdom. Every unanswered prayer sharpened your spiritual hearing. Every moment of confusion trained you to recognize the subtle ways heaven speaks, because what is coming next cannot be handled by someone spiritually asleep. You needed to be awakened before the blessing arrived. There is something very specific shifting around you right now, and Michael is revealing that you have stepped into an energetic corridor, a spiritual hallway, that exists only for those whose hearts have been through intense refinement. Think back on the last few weeks. Think about the unexpected emotions that rose out of nowhere, the strange heaviness that clung to you at night, the sudden bursts of hope that appeared even when nothing looked different. These were not random mood changes. These were signs that your spirit was adjusting to a new frequency. Heaven has been raising the vibration around your destiny, and your soul has been adapting to hold what is now arriving. Michael is whispering a powerful truth. The divine clock has struck a prophetic hour for you. There are certain blessings that simply cannot come early, not because you are unworthy, but because the atmosphere was not yet aligned. The people meant to walk with you were not ready. The opportunities destined for you were not positioned. The doors meant to open for you were still being constructed in the unseen realm. If heaven had delivered too soon, you would have walked into a place built for a version of you that no longer exists. Timing is not about convenience. Timing is about alignment. But now the shift has happened. The timing has ripened. Michael shows the image of a curtain lifting. Something hidden is being revealed in your life, not to expose you, but to elevate you. You are stepping into a season where what was once confusing will suddenly make sense. Every no from the past is turning into a yes. Every delay will soon be seen as protection. Every detour will make sense as a divine redirection. You were never denied, just preserved for a higher purpose. There is also a gentle warning from Michael. As heaven moves things into place for you, there will be people who feel unsettled by your shift. Not everyone can follow you into this next chapter. Some will fade quietly. Some will distance themselves. Some may even misunderstand the glow that begins to rise around you. Do not fear this. Do not cling to what heaven is releasing. You are not losing anything. You are simply being repositioned. As Michael clears the path ahead, he is also clearing distractions from around you. What remains will be pure. What stays will be aligned. What enters next will carry purpose. A divine opportunity is approaching you that will feel both familiar and entirely new. It will resonate with a dream you once abandoned, something you thought your life had outgrown, but heaven is now breathing life back into it. You will recognize it by the peace it carries. It will not feel forced. It will not require you to shrink yourself. It will match the evolution inside you. Michael says that when this opportunity appears, your spirit will remember it, even if your mind questions it. Trust the inner knowing more than the outer circumstances. There is also a message about your voice. Michael says you have been silencing yourself for too long, not out of fear, but out of habit. You'll learn to keep peace by reducing your power. But heaven is restoring your voice. There will be moments in this season where words flow through you that feel guided, almost as though something greater is speaking through you. This is not imagination. This is alignment. You are standing in a frequency that allows heaven to use your voice as a vessel. Speak when you feel led. Hold silence when your spirit nudges you. Your intuition is becoming sharper, stronger, more accurate. Trust it. As this part of the message draws to a close, Michael urges you to stay attentive. There is a revelation coming in the next message that ties directly into the divine timing now unfolding. This next insight will shift your perspective on a situation you have been struggling to understand. The unveiling is near. Hold your spiritual posture steady. The next pulse of heaven's message will carry clarity. Before you move forward, type "I walk in divine timing" in the comments if this speaks to your soul. Blessing code 229 has now been released. Beloved soul, there is a deeper stirring now, stronger than what has moved through you in previous moments. And Archangel Michael presses this urgently into your spirit. You are standing at the edge of a revelation that has been waiting for years to reach you. Not months. Years. Heaven has been weaving threads behind the scenes, threads you could not see, touch, or even imagine, because the timing had to remain hidden until your heart matured enough to carry the weight of what is being delivered. This is why your life felt like a series of unexpected turns. This is why certain people left, why certain seasons collapsed, why certain prayers seemed ignored. Nothing was denied to you. Everything was delayed for your protection. Michael says you are finally stepping into the hour when the meaning behind those delays will begin to reveal itself piece by piece, gently but undeniably. There has been a spiritual repositioning around you. You may have sensed it in your sleep, in the strange dreams you have had, in the moments when you woke with an unexplainable heaviness or a sudden wave of peace. These sensations were heaven's indicators that something ancient within you was unlocking. Michael shows a vision of a sealed scroll being unrolled, something written long before your earthly life began, something that pertains to your destiny. You have reached a timeline where that scroll is finally opening. You were never meant to miss this moment. You were destined to collide with it. Michael wants you to understand something vital. The spiritual realm is not reacting to your life. It is orchestrating it. What you have called coincidences were divine appointments. What you called disappointments were divine redirections. The restless ache in your spirit was heaven's tug toward this very alignment. There is a shift happening in the atmosphere around you, and the pressure you have been feeling is not an attack. It is an indication that something too big to hide is pushing its way into your reality. There is also a message about a cycle breaking. You have been trapped in a repeating emotional pattern that has exhausted your spirit. It may look like fear, or doubt, or the feeling of being stuck, but Michael says this pattern was never your identity. It was a spiritual residue from an old season that has now expired. Your spirit outgrew it. That is why it became heavy. That is why it became suffocating. That is why you felt that internal nudge telling you that you were meant for more, that you could not remain in the same circle any longer. Heaven is lifting that weight off you. The frequency around your destiny is too high for old cycles to survive. In the coming days, you will notice a shift in your perception. Sudden clarity, unexpected courage, or moments where you simply know what to do, even when the path is unclear. This is not imagination. This is activation. Michael says your inner knowing is awakening because heaven is preparing you to receive something you once thought was out of reach. A connection, an opportunity, a breakthrough, a release. Something with divine fingerprints is coming toward you, and it carries the energy of restoration. Michael is also revealing that someone connected to your past will resurface in your thoughts or even in your life soon. Do not fear this. This return is not to pull you backward, but to close a chapter correctly. Something left unfinished must be sealed so that it no longer leaks into your present. Heaven is giving you the strength and clarity to handle this with grace, not with emotional chaos. You will see the situation differently now, because you are no longer the same version of yourself. Your spirit has ascended. There is a special protective message from Michael as well. You are entering a phase where your light will grow noticeably brighter. Some will be drawn to this light with genuine admiration, and others will be drawn to it because it exposes their own darkness. Do not be alarmed by sudden shifts in how people treat you. Do not be discouraged if someone pulls away or grows distant. Sometimes heaven removes access to you so that you can rise without interruption. You are being elevated into a realm where only aligned souls can remain. Michael urges you to stay connected to the message, because the next revelation will explain why you were spiritually interrupted in recent months. What you thought was stagnation was actually heaven restraining you, so that something greater could catch up to your timeline. The unraveling of this truth will change the way you view your entire journey. Stay close, because your spirit is being prepared for a moment of divine understanding. Before moving to the next message, pause and speak into the comments. I rise with heaven's timing. Blessing code 333 has now been released. If this message is stirring your spirit, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who needs clarity. Comment to keep the energy flowing. And subscribe so you never miss what heaven is releasing through these messages. Let this be your way of keeping your spirit aligned with divine revelation. When heaven releases a word like this, it is not just for inspiration, but for activation. Every time you support this mission, you are helping God's voice reach someone standing where you once stood, confused, waiting, praying for direction. Michael shows me rivers of light flowing to places we cannot physically reach, and your support becomes the seed that carries that light. I declare Isaiah's promise over you, not as a verse, but as God speaking directly. I am opening the gates before you, and no door will be shut. I am speaking this now because I feel heaven's urgency. I invite you to stand with us. When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, it becomes a prophetic act that heaven honors. To every giver, I release blessing, expansion, and alignment over your life. Now step boldly, support this divine work, and let heaven confirm your obedience. Precious soul, there is a sacred quietness surrounding you in this moment, and Archangel Michael steps forward with a presence that feels almost like warm wind moving through the unseen. He is guiding you deeper now, deeper than the previous revelations, into the very heart of why heaven brought you into this divine alignment. Everything you have experienced recently, the restless thoughts, the sudden emotional waves, the unexpected heaviness followed by unusual bursts of clarity, has been part of a spiritual recalibration. Heaven has been adjusting the frequency of your life, preparing you for something that not only belongs to you, but also requires the strongest and most awakened version of you to receive it. You are not simply being blessed. You are being positioned. Michael reveals that there is a divine instruction being prepared for you, one that must be released in perfect timing. This instruction will not be confusing or overwhelming. Instead, it will feel like a missing piece sliding effortlessly into place. For weeks, maybe even months, you have felt a pull towards something you could not fully define. A sensation that something was coming, something was shifting, something was moving beneath the surface of your life. That sensation was heaven preparing your internal world before adjusting your external world. The inside must transform before the outside can match it, and Michael says you have finally shifted enough internally for your external realities to begin transforming. Heaven has been observing your heart closely. Every time you tried to let go, but couldn't, every moment you tried to move forward, but felt held back, every silent prayer you whispered when no one was around, all of it has been accounted for. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. You are entering a divine corridor where past pain will no longer have authority over your present choices. Michael says that the spiritual atmosphere around you is being cleansed, layer by layer, until only clarity remains. This is why certain memories resurfaced recently without warning. Heaven was not tormenting you. It was healing you. When pain comes back to the surface, it is because it is finally being removed. There is a powerful truth unfolding here. You have been prepared to receive answers you once begged for, but were not ready to understand. Answers about your path. Answers about your relationships. Answers about why certain things had to fall apart. Heaven's timing required you to grow into the strength necessary to hear what would have crushed you before. But now, your spirit is steady enough. Your faith is mature enough. Your discernment is strong enough. And so the revelations that once felt too heavy are about to fall gently into your understanding. Michael also reveals that someone in your energy field has been unknowingly absorbing your light without offering anything in return. This is not about blame or bitterness. It is about spiritual conservation. You were giving emotional or spiritual support to someone whose season in your life was quietly closing. They did not intend to drain you, but their presence was slowing your elevation. Heaven has been removing this bond with grace, not through conflict, but through gradual distancing. That distance is protection. That distance is divine timing. Do not chase what heaven is releasing. Do not cling to what feels like it is fading. The more you release, the more heaven can place in your hands. There is another message here that carries urgency. Something around you is being restored in a way you thought was impossible. A dream you buried. A vision you abandoned. A desire you silenced because life taught you to be realistic. Michael is showing me the image of a seed sprouting underground long before anyone can see the signs of life above the soil. That seed represents a part of you that never died. It simply rested, waiting for the right conditions. Heaven says those conditions have finally arrived. You are standing in the season where dormant seeds awaken. You will soon feel a surge of creativity, motivation, or direction, almost like a whisper inside that says, "Do this now." When that whisper comes, follow it. That whisper will guide you to the next divine intersection. You will know it is heaven because it will not carry fear. It will not bring pressure. It will feel like alignment. It will feel like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. You will sense the timing not in your mind but in your spirit. Michael is also addressing the emotional chaos you felt recently. The sudden confusion, the unexpected tears, the moments of spiritual exhaustion were not signs of weakness. They were signs of spiritual transition. A chapter was closing. A new path was forming. But your body, your mind, your emotions needed time to adjust to the shift. When heaven redirects you, your human self often takes a moment to catch up to your spiritual self. That disorientation you felt was simply your spirit moving ahead of your logic. Now your entire being is aligning. The next revelation will clarify a question that has been pressing on your heart, one you have been too overwhelmed to ask out loud. Heaven has heard it anyway. The answer is coming, and when you hear it, the spiritual fog surrounding you will dissolve. Before moving ahead, type "I align with my divine path" in the comments if this message resonates deeply. Blessing code 511 has just been activated. Hold still for what comes next, because the unfolding truth will illuminate everything you have been sensing but could not yet see. Beloved one, there is a deeper unfolding taking place around you now, and Archangel Michael steps in with a firm yet comforting presence. His energy in this moment is not gentle like before. It is steady, grounded, intentional, as though he is preparing you for truth that holds great weight. Heaven's timing continues to guide every pulse of revelation you have received so far, but this message carries a layer that reaches into the very structure of your destiny. Michael is revealing something that has been hidden not by accident, but by divine design. You were not meant to discover it earlier. Your spirit needed to grow into the strength required to carry what is being revealed in this hour. Your journey until now has been the preparation for this moment. You have been experiencing an internal shift that you could not fully explain. Even when your outer life seemed unchanged, something deep within you began rearranging itself. Old desires lost their appeal. Old distractions no longer held your attention. People who once felt familiar suddenly felt distant. The dreams that once motivated you now felt incomplete, as though your soul was searching for a higher direction. This was heaven reconfiguring your inner world. Michael says your spirit has been tuning to a new frequency, one that aligns with the next chapter of your divine assignment. A chapter you never knew you were destined to walk into. There is a revelation in this shift. You have outgrown timelines you once prayed to remain in. You have matured beyond environments that once felt comfortable. The reason you felt restless was not because you were failing. It was because you were evolving. Heaven was preparing you to enter a timeline that requires a more awakened, courageous, and spiritually grounded version of you. Michael reveals that the discomfort you felt in recent months was the final stretching of an old season that could no longer contain your divine capacity. Something significant is approaching you, something that carries the mark of divine orchestration. It may appear in the form of a decision, an invitation, a new opportunity, or even an unexpected conversation. Whatever form it takes, it will contain the exact energy you have been waiting to feel, but could never properly describe. It will feel like remembering something you never physically learned. It will feel like alignment. It will feel like purpose. It will feel like home. Michael urges you not to dismiss it when it appears. This moment has been written into your destiny long before you ever prayed for clarity. Heaven has also begun exposing the energies around you with more intensity. Michael says someone in your sphere, someone you once trusted deeply, has been carrying unspoken disappointment, envy, or misunderstanding toward you. This person is not your enemy, but they are not aligned with the next level of your journey. You may notice their distance. You may feel their silence. You may sense their emotional withdrawal. Do not chase after this connection. Heaven is allowing the separation not to punish them or elevate you, but to protect the divine instructions that are about to be handed to you. Certain revelations must be held in spiritual privacy. Not everyone has the capacity to understand what God is doing in your life. Michael is showing something else, a moment from your past where you felt you made the wrong decision, missed the right opportunity, or strayed from your path. He says heaven has written the consequences of that moment. What you thought ruined the plan did not ruin anything. God wove your missteps into the divine design so seamlessly that the outcome remains exactly what heaven intended. You have not fallen behind. You have not missed your season. You have not lost your blessing. Everything is still on schedule. Heaven is expert at using detours to create alignment. There is also a message about your intuition. Recently, you have noticed it sharpening. You sense things before they happen. You feel shifts in people without evidence. You know when someone is lying even if their words sound sincere. You have dreams that feel prophetic, moments where your spirit whispers warnings or confirmations. Michael says this is not imagination or coincidence. This is the activation of spiritual sight. Heaven is preparing you to navigate a path that will require discernment beyond human logic. This awakening is not temporary. It is permanent. You are stepping fully into your prophetic sensitivity. Your emotional state may also have felt unpredictable lately. One day you feel hopeful, the next day unsure, then suddenly peaceful, then tense, then calm again. This fluctuation is not instability. It is spiritual detox. Michael says heaven has been pulling emotional residue out of your spirit. Old fear, old wounds, old narratives, old limitations. You cannot rise into your new timeline carrying the weight of your old one. Every tear you shed recently was not a sign of weakness, but a sign of release. You are being cleansed from the inside out so that when clarity arrives, your heart will be ready to receive it without distortion. Now hear this with the fullness of your spirit, a breakthrough that has been circulating around your life, the one you have prayed for, waited for, questioned, and sometimes doubted, is no longer forming. It is arriving. Michael says the shift will begin subtly, then quickly, then undeniably. You will recognize the moment, because your spirit will respond before your mind catches up. And when it begins, everything that once seemed stuck will suddenly move with divine momentum. The next message will go even deeper, revealing why the timing had to unfold exactly as it did. Do not drift away now. You are approaching the heart of heaven's explanation. Before moving forward, type "I receive the divine revelation" in the comments if this resonates within you. Blessing code 944 has now been released. The of spirit, there is a deeper intensity in the atmosphere surrounding you right now, and Archangel Michael steps forward with a clarity that cuts through every lingering doubt you have been carrying. His presence feels more focused, more protective, almost as if he is guarding the revelation that is about to unfold in this very moment. Heaven's timing is not just aligning for you, it is accelerating. You have entered a window where what once moved slowly will begin moving swiftly, and what once felt distant will begin drawing near with undeniable clarity. Michael says this acceleration is not random. It is the fulfillment of a divine alignment that has been forming quietly in the background of your life, preparing itself for the precise second you would be spiritually mature enough to handle what is coming next. There is a shift happening deep within your subconscious. You may have noticed yourself reflecting on old memories, revisiting past decisions, or suddenly realizing how far you have grown. This is not nostalgia. This is heaven pulling your awareness into alignment with your new identity. You are no longer the person you used to be. Your spirit has expanded. Your discernment has sharpened. Your emotional depth has matured. Every layer of you has been evolving silently, and now your consciousness is finally catching on. You are beginning to see yourself the way heaven sees you. Capable, chosen, prepared. Michael reveals that a spiritual contract is being completed in your life. There was a lesson you needed to learn, a cycle you needed to experience, and a truth you needed to embody before you could step into what has been waiting for you. This completion is why you have felt a strange sensation of something ending, even when nothing visible has changed yet. Your soul has already closed the chapter. Your body and mind are simply adjusting to the closure. Pay attention to your dreams during this time. You may see doors, hallways, bridges, or moments from your past you thought were forgotten. These dreams are symbolic reflections of spiritual transitions. Heaven is showing you what is leaving so you can be ready for what is arriving. Michael is exposing something else with great seriousness. You have been carrying emotional burdens that were never yours to carry. Someone projected their fears onto you. Someone placed expectations on your shoulders that were rooted in their own insecurities, not your destiny. Someone treated you through the lens of their own wounds. And at some point, you internalized their distortion as truth. But heaven is clearing this weight from your spirit. You are being released from the false identities others placed on you, the ones that dimmed your confidence, suppressed your potential, or convinced you to shrink yourself. Michael says your true identity is emerging, powerful, aligned, spiritually refined. There is also a revelation about a delay that has frustrated you deeply. You prayed. You waited. You did everything you were led to do. And still, nothing seemed to move. But heaven is showing the truth now. That delay was not punishment. It was synchronization. Something connected to your blessing was not yet ready, whether it was a person, a circumstance, or even a location. Had the blessing arrived earlier, it would not have lasted. Michael says the wait protected the longevity of what is coming. This is why heaven never allowed you to accept a lesser version of the promise. You may have tried to settle, but heaven would not let you. You may have pushed for something temporarily satisfying, but heaven blocked it. Everything was steering you toward the appointed moment you are stepping into now. Your intuition has been lighting up for a reason. You feel something shifting even if you cannot name it. You sense something approaching even without evidence. This is because your spirit detects alignment before your eyes see manifestation. Michael says trust these sensations. They are not random or imagined. They are the spiritual radar of your destiny activating. You are entering a timeline where your intuition will guide you more accurately than logic ever could. You will feel the right move, the right decision, the right connection before it makes sense. Follow those impressions without hesitation. They are divine signals from the realm Michael guards. There is a message about a door that closed unexpectedly in your past. You may have labeled it loss or rejection, but heaven labeled it re-erection. That door was sealed because it would have led you away from your purpose. It would have drained you, weakened you, or delayed your calling. Michael says you will soon see exactly why the door had to close. The truth will reveal itself in a moment of clarity that arrives suddenly, like a light turning on in a dark room. When that moment comes, gratitude will fill the space where disappointment once lived. Now Michael shifts his tone, urging you to listen carefully. There is a blessing forming that requires your full attention, not partial faith. You are being positioned to receive something you prayed for long before you believed you were worthy of it. Heaven is aligning people, resources, timing, and opportunities in your favor. Not because of chance, but because you have reached a frequency where your destiny can finally recognize you. You will begin to notice subtle signs, unexpected peace, sudden insight, new openings, surprising clarity, or emotional release. These are confirmations that the divine timing is active. The next revelation will uncover a truth about your destiny that you have never been shown before. You are reaching the deeper chambers of heaven's message. Before you move forward, type "I trust heaven's acceleration" in the comments if this message resonates within you. Blessing code 722 has now been activated. Beloved soul, there is a sacred heaviness resting in the atmosphere right now. Not a heaviness of burden, but a weight of divine truth preparing to settle into your spirit. Archangel Michael stands beside you with a presence that feels sharper, brighter, and more focused than in any previous moment. This is because the revelation unfolding here is not simply guidance. It is a turning point. You are entering a stage of your journey where heaven begins to reveal the deeper architecture of your destiny. This is where spiritual understanding merges with divine timing, and your soul begins to recognize why everything had to happen the way it did. What may have once felt like unanswered prayers were actually strategic delays. What once felt like confusion was quiet preparation. And what once felt like abandonment was divine shielding. Michael reveals that your spirit has stepped into a frequency that aligns with a long-awaited shift. You have been sensing it in subtle ways, flashes of intuition, sudden inner peace, moments of discomfort when you tried to return to old patterns, or even an unexplainable awareness that something in your life was about to transform. These impressions were not imagined. They were echoes of heaven preparing you. Your inner world has been adjusting to the reality that your outer world is about to change. You have been undergoing inner alignment. Spirit first, circumstance second. Heaven always shifts the internal before it shifts the external. There is also a profound truth about your resilience. Michael says your strength has reached a level you have not yet fully recognized. You survived moments that were designed to break lesser hearts. You navigated storms that you had no roadmap for. You carried pain that you did not speak about, yet you still kept moving, growing, and believing. This resilience was not overlooked. Heaven has recorded every silent battle, every unspoken prayer, every tear shed in exhaustion and hope. Your endurance has become a spiritual key, granting you access to blessings that require emotional and spiritual maturity. Heaven trusts you now in ways it could not have trusted you before. You have proven your faithfulness in the shadows, and now heaven prepares to honor you in the light. Michael is now revealing something very personal. There is a part of your calling that you have sensed, but never fully embraced. A role, a purpose, a path that has whispered to your heart for years. You may have dismissed it because life felt too complicated, or because you lacked the confidence to pursue it, or simply because timing never aligned. But Michael says this calling is resurfacing now not as a whisper, but as an activation. Heaven is positioning you to step into a dimension of purpose that will feel both familiar and entirely new. Your spirit will recognize it instantly. You will know it when the opportunity arrives, because it will not make you shrink. It will make you expand. There is also a revelation about your heart. Heaven has been healing you layer by layer, gently but profoundly. You have released old wounds. You have forgiven people who never apologized. You have moved forward from situations that once held you emotionally hostage. But Michael says the final fragments of that old emotional residue have lifted. Your heart is lighter now, clearer, more open. This is why you may have felt moments of unexpected peace recently or found yourself letting go of things that once consumed your thoughts. The emotional fog has been clearing, making space for divine clarity. Michael shows another image, a map with several paths leading to the same destination. You may have believed that a past choice, a wrong turn, or a failed attempt ruined your destiny. But heaven says your destiny was never fragile. Your calling was never limited to one version of your life. The path may have shifted, but the destination remains secured. The delays did not break the promise. They strengthened you for the promise. Heaven is revealing that the timing has aligned so perfectly that the version of you right now is exactly who needed to receive what is coming. You lost nothing. You gained readiness. There is a spiritual unveiling happening around your relationships as well. Someone in your life is about to show their true intentions, either through their actions, their silence, or their sudden change of energy. Do not fear this revelation. Do not cling to what is fading. Heaven is protecting your elevation by removing energies that cannot accompany your rise. Michael says the people meant for your next season will match your growth, not resist it. Your circle is being refined so your destiny can expand. Listen closely now, because this part carries a message that touches the deepest parts of your journey. The thing you have prayed for the longest, the breakthrough that has hovered over your life, like a cloud waiting to burst, is entering the phase of manifestation. It will not arrive all at once. It will begin as subtle confirmation, then grow into undeniable movement. Every sign you've been noticing, repeating numbers, sudden clarity, emotional release, intensified intuition, has been preparing you for this moment. Heaven is not hinting. Heaven is announcing. And Michael stands as the guardian of this unfolding, ensuring that nothing interferes with what is divinely appointed. You must remain spiritually alert in the coming days. Pay attention to your inner nudges, your sudden ideas, your unexpected urges to shift something in your routine or environment. Heaven will guide you through these small impulses. What looks minor in the natural may be major in the spiritual. Trust what your spirit tells you. This is the season where inner knowing becomes your compass. The next revelation will move even deeper into the purpose behind this divine alignment. The truth that unfolds next will illuminate a part of your journey that has remained hidden until now. Before you move forward, type "I am ready for my heavenly alignment" in the comments if your spirit resonates with this message. Blessing code 808 is now activated. Beloved heart, there is a holy stillness surrounding this moment, and Archangel Michael steps forward with a presence that feels like a shield of light settling over you. His energy carries both tenderness and urgency, because the revelation unfolding now marks a threshold you have been unknowingly walking toward for years. Heaven's timing is moving with a precision that leaves no room for coincidence, and everything you have endured, questioned, lost, released, outgrown, and prayed through has led you to this very intersection. You are standing at a spiritual doorway, one that only opens when destiny, maturity, and timing align in perfect harmony. Michael says that alignment is happening right now. You may have felt a strange emotional mix in recent days. Moments of peace followed by sudden agitation. A wave of clarity followed by unexpected heaviness. Restlessness without a clear reason. But these were not mood swings or confusion. They were indicators that a divine shift was reaching completion. Heaven was closing the final threads of an old timeline, while opening the gateway to the new one. Your soul felt both endings and beginnings simultaneously. Michael reveals that this dual sensation is evidence that you are stepping into the center of your calling, the place where your purpose becomes active instead of dormant. There is something important you must understand. You are not late. You are not behind. You did not miss your moment. You did not fail the mission. Heaven never measures progress by human clocks. Heaven measures readiness by spiritual maturity. Everything that felt delayed was actually ripening. The blessing needed you to evolve into the person who could hold it without breaking under its weight. The moment you reached that maturity, the clock shifted in your favor. You are living in that shift right now, even if you cannot yet see the outer evidence. It is happening in the realm where your destiny is written before it manifests in the realm where your eyes can see. Michael reveals an image, your name surrounded by light, rising like a banner lifted over a battlefield. This symbolizes that you have been recognized in the spirit, not only for surviving what was meant to drain you, but for rising into strength you didn't know you possess. Your endurance has become a weapon in heaven's hands. Your faith has become a signal. Your resilience has become a spiritual magnet, drawing divine provision toward you. Heaven's proud of the battles you fought in silence. There is a significant message about clarity. You have been asking heaven for understanding, for direction, for a sign that confirms whether you are on the right path. Michael says the clarity you are seeking is coming through alignment, not through explanation. Do not expect a long explanation at first. Instead, expect subtle alignment, things falling into place, doors opening without force, opportunities appearing without anxiety, people who carry peace entering your life effortlessly. Clarity will be revealed through flow. The right path will not drain you. It will energize you. Michael also warns that as the divine timeline accelerates, you must remain aware of spiritual distractions. Something or someone may resurface from your past, not to bless you, but to delay you. This is not intimidation. It is awareness. When elevation happens, old patterns often try to return. But you will not fall back. You have outgrown that version of yourself. Heaven's timing has moved you forward too far for anything from your past to pull you back into cycles of confusion. If something or someone appears and you feel hesitation, tightness, or unease, trust your intuition. It is Michael nudging your spirit. Now hear this with full attention. There is a prophetic opportunity approaching you. It may appear ordinary on the surface, but spiritually, it carries the potential to shift your entire direction. Michael says you will know it is the right opportunity because it will activate your courage, not your fear. It will awaken a part of you that has been dormant. It will carry peace even if it challenges you. Do not underestimate the power of this moment when it arrives. It is not random. It is a divine intersection. Your emotional sensitivity may increase during this time. You may feel more deeply. You may sense energies more intensely. You may perceive the truth behind people's words even when they speak gently. This is one of the signs that your spiritual discernment is rising. Michael assures you that this heightened sensitivity is not weakness. It is spiritual sight awakening. You are being prepared to navigate your new season with intuition and wisdom that surpass the limitations of logic. There is another revelation that requires your full awareness. Heaven has begun releasing specific angels to guard your path as the next part of your calling activates. This spiritual protection is the reason certain connections ended abruptly, certain plans fell apart unexpectedly, and certain doors remained closed. It was protection disguised as disruption. You were not rejected, you were rerouted. Heaven refused to let you settle for anything beneath your calling. Michael speaks now with a tone of urgency. You are closer to manifestation than you think. The final pieces are aligning. The spiritual resistance has been weakened. Your breakthrough has already begun forming in the unseen. The shift will become visible soon. Stay aligned. Stay aware. Stay expectant. Before moving forward, type "I move with Heaven's timing" in the comments if your spirit feels this truth. Blessing code 1909 is now released. If this word is speaking into your spirit, take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe so this divine message can continue flowing to others who need it. Your engagement becomes a spiritual echo that allows more souls to be reached. When Heaven releases a word with this magnitude, it is not just to uplift you, but to mobilize you. Every time you support this mission, you become part of the divine chain that carries God's voice to the weary and the waiting. Michael shows rivers of living water flowing through these messages, reaching hearts we may never meet. But your support helps that flow continue. I declare God's promise over you. I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing without measure. Hear this as God speaking directly into your destiny. I invite you now to stand with us as a vessel Heaven can trust. When you sow through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are making a prophetic declaration that you walk in Heaven's timing. To every giver, I release breakthrough, clarity, and divine acceleration. Step boldly, support this mission, and let Heaven seal your obedience with favor. Beloved soul, there is a deep spiritual movement happening around you at this very hour, and Archangel Michael steps near with a seriousness that signals the importance of the revelation unfolding now. His presence feels like a warm current of truth, cutting through every illusion, every fear, and every lingering doubt that has tried to cloud your journey. You are stepping into the core of Heaven's message, the part that reveals why the timing had to be the way it was, why certain seasons were prolonged, and why certain breakthroughs were withheld until this exact moment in your life. Michael says you are entering the phase of understanding, where the mystery begins to unravel, and your spirit awakens to the orchestration that has been guiding you in silence. There is something profound happening inside you. You may have felt it as an unfamiliar calm, an unusual clarity, or a sudden sense of emotional stabilization. You may have even noticed that things which once triggered anxiety or frustration no longer hold the same power over you. This is not coincidence. Michael reveals that heaven has been resetting your inner atmosphere. You are being spiritually rewired so your emotions, your thoughts, and your instincts can align with a higher version of yourself. This alignment is crucial because the next chapter of your destiny requires inner strength that cannot be shaken by fear or old patterns. You are being prepared to move with authority, not hesitation. Michael shows the image of a spiritual door that has been shut for a long time, guarded, sealed, and protected until the right moment. That door represents a blessing, an opportunity, or a calling that was always meant for you, but needed the right version of you to step forward. Heaven never wanted you to enter through that door prematurely because it would have overwhelmed you, confused you, or even broken you. But now the door is beginning to unlock. Not swing open immediately, but unlock, signaling that the season of access has arrived. You will soon feel the shift, small signs at first, subtle confirmations, moments of unexpected alignment. Each one will be heaven tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "The time is now." There is also a message about spiritual interference. In past seasons, the enemy tried to distract you, delay you, or discourage you by sending emotional turbulence, confusion, or draining relationships. But Michael says those influences have lost access to you. Your spiritual elevation has lifted you above the frequency where those attacks once reached you. This is why recent negativity feels like it bounces off you instead of piercing you. You have risen. You have ascended. You have stepped into a vibration where divine protection surrounds you like a shield. What once touched you can no longer reach you, and heaven celebrates this rise within your spirit. Michael highlights a very specific emotional shift you may have experienced, the sudden desire to withdraw from certain people or environments. A quiet distancing, a subtle separation, a need for stillness. This is not isolation or disconnection. This is heaven repositioning you. Michael says your spirit has outgrown certain energies, and the distance is divine, not personal. Do not force closeness where heaven is creating space. You are being elevated to environments where your purpose will be nurtured, not misunderstood. The relationships that align with your new season will meet you on the frequency you are rising into. Your intuition during this time will become one of the strongest tools heaven uses to guide you. You will feel things before they happen. You will sense shifts before they manifest. You will receive nudges that may not make sense at first, but they will lead you to divine intersections. Michael says pay attention to the quiet impressions, those gentle but persistent inner pulls that tell you to speak, or wait, or move, or rest. These are not random thoughts. These are spiritual instructions disguised as intuition. There is a powerful revelation about your identity. You have been carrying a version of yourself that no longer matches who you have become. Old fears, old doubts, old insecurities, old stories you used to tell yourself about your worth. They are falling off you now. Michael says you are not who you were last year, last month, or even last week. Something inside you has shifted in a way that cannot be reversed. You are becoming aligned with your divine identity, the version of you that heaven has always seen. You will soon look back at your past with understanding, not pain. You will see the divine wisdom in every turn. Michael reveals that the next part of your journey requires a level of spiritual courage you are now ready to embody. A decision is coming. It may be a choice about your future, a step toward your calling, a release of something that has lingered too long, or an acceptance of something you once feared. Whatever this decision is, it will mark a defining moment in your destiny. Heaven will not force you into it, but you will feel the gentle push, the inner certainty, the unmistakable knowing that it is time. And when you say yes, internally or externally, your life will begin to accelerate with divine momentum. Listen carefully now, because Michael emphasizes this. You are protected in this transition. Heaven is not only guiding you, but surrounding you. Your journey is not moving into chaos, it is moving into clarity. Your path is not becoming harder, it is becoming purposeful. The shifts you feel are not signs of danger, they are signs of elevation. You are not losing anything you need. You are shedding everything that cannot follow you into your calling. The next revelation will bring deeper clarity about the divine assignment you are stepping into. The unfolding is not over, it is intensifying. Before moving ahead, type "I walk into my divine door" in the comments if this resonates deeply with your spirit. Blessing code 1010 has now been released. Beloved one, there is a profound awakening taking place in the unseen realms around you, and Archangel Michael steps forward with a depth of presence that signals how critical this moment is for your spirit. His energy feels like a firm hand on your shoulder, steadying you, anchoring you, preparing you for the insight that is about to unfold. You are entering the most revealing segment of this divine message, the part where heaven begins to expose the deeper blueprint of your calling. Until now, you have been walking through layers of preparation, emotional purification, spiritual alignment, inner strengthening, and the quiet dismantling of outdated patterns. But this part of the journey seeks to bring into focus what all the preparation has truly been for. Michael says you are closer to your divine purpose than you have ever been, and the air around your life is vibrating with prophetic readiness. There is a sacred truth about your journey that heaven has been waiting to reveal. You have been positioned in certain seasons not because they were easy or comfortable, but because they were essential to shaping your character. Every moment you felt stretched, every situation that felt unfair, every chapter that tested your endurance was purposefully refining you. Michael says you were not simply surviving. Your spirit was being trained. You were being equipped with discernment, emotional strength, resilience, and clarity that only experience could give. Heaven does not waste your pain. Heaven transforms it into spiritual intelligence. And now that intelligence is awakening within you in a way that will become essential to your next assignment. Michael reveals that you have been carrying a calling that has been dormant, but not inactive. Dormant means hidden, not absent. It means waiting, not forgotten. Like a seed beneath the soil, your calling has been developing roots, anchoring itself deeply before rising into visibility. You may have sensed this inner pull for years. This quiet awareness that you were meant for something more, something bigger, something sacred. Perhaps you dismissed it at times. Perhaps life felt too overwhelming. Perhaps circumstances made you feel unworthy or unprepared. But heaven never withdrew the call. Instead, heaven waited until your spirit matured into a place where you could walk in purpose with stability, not fear. There is a message here about your voice. Michael says your voice carries authority in the spirit realm. Even when you speak softly, your words hold weight. Even when you doubt yourself, your spirit vibrates with purpose. You are not designed to remain silent in the spaces where heaven has positioned you. There is something within you, wisdom, compassion, insight, discernment, that others will soon begin to recognize and gravitate toward. Do not shrink from this. Do not question your worthiness. Heaven is preparing you to step into influence, not for ego, but for impact. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Your words will guide those who feel lost. Your strength will comfort those who feel weak. Your story will awaken those who feel forgotten. Michael shows another vision, a path illuminated one step at a time. You may have wished for full clarity, a complete roadmap, a visible destination. But heaven reveals guidance in phases, not all at once. This is because your calling is too big to understand in one moment. Your destiny unfolds as you grow. Each step prepares you for the next. Each season unveils what your spirit is ready to hold. You will not be overwhelmed by revelation. You will be guided by it. Michael assures you that you will always have the instruction you need at the moment you need it. You will never walk blind. You will walk guided. There is a deeply personal message regarding relationships. Someone in your life has been occupying emotional or spiritual space that heaven is now clearing. This is not about conflict or resentment. It is about alignment. You are rising into a level where only those who match your frequency can walk with you. If someone has been drifting away, becoming silent, or feeling distant, it is because heaven is repositioning them. Michael urges you not to chase after those who cannot accompany your elevation. This separation is not a punishment, it is protection. Your destiny requires a circle that uplifts, not undermines, your growth. You may also notice that your intuition is sharpening in an almost uncanny way. Dreams may become more vivid. Insights may strike you suddenly. You may sense truth behind people's words or intentions without explanation. This is not imagination. This is spiritual activation. Michael says your ability to perceive beyond the natural will be essential to navigating your calling. Heaven is entrusting you with heightened discernment because your path will influence others, and clarity is necessary for leadership. A powerful revelation is emerging now. The season you are stepping into is not about healing anymore. It is about building. Healing was required to remove old wounds that could distort your decisions. But now your spirit is moving into construction, creation, expansion. You will build what heaven shows you. You will walk into opportunities that match your purpose. You will step into relationships that strengthen your calling. You will embrace responsibilities that once felt intimidating but now feel aligned. Michael says your hesitations are dissolving, and your confidence is rising because your soul is remembering its purpose. There is a final truth in the section that Michael wants you to hold carefully. You are not stepping into something small. You are stepping into something generational. Something that will outlive you. Something that will impact others long after your season has passed. This is why the preparation was so intense. This is why the timing had to be precise. You are not entering an ordinary chapter. You are entering the chapter heaven wrote with extraordinary intention. The next revelation will take you deeper into the responsibility and power of your calling. Do not drift. What unfolds next will connect everything. Before moving ahead, type "I embrace my heavenly calling" in the comments if this message speaks to your spirit. Blessing code 2442 has now been released. Beloved soul, there is a sacred trembling in the spirit realm around you, a vibration of destiny echoing through your atmosphere. And Archangel Michael steps closer now with a presence that feels both commanding and comforting. His nearness signals that what is unfolding in this moment is not merely guidance, but revelation. You have reached a point in your journey where heaven begins unveiling the deeper currents that have guided your life from the very beginning. Every moment of preparation, every hardship, every unanswered question, every delay, every divine whisper, they were all strands of the same tapestry, woven with precision, intention, and unshakable purpose. Michael says this next layer of insight will not only clarify your past, but will empower your future. There is something sacred awakening within you, something that has been building quietly beneath the surface of your awareness. You may have felt this awakening as sudden bursts of courage or a quiet insistence that you are meant to step into something greater. You may have noticed that your fears no longer grip you the way they once did. You may have caught yourself imagining possibilities you once dismissed. These signs indicate that your spirit has begun merging with your divine identity. The version of you that once lived in hesitation is dissolving. The version of you that lives in purpose is emerging. Heaven has been waiting for this moment, and now that it has arrived, the spiritual realm responds with movement. Michael shows the image of a sealed envelope, one that has been kept hidden in the archives of heaven. This envelope holds a spiritual assignment written with your name on it. It was destined for you from the beginning, but its contents could not be revealed until your heart had healed enough, your mind had strengthened enough, and your soul had grown deep enough to carry it. That envelope is now being opened. Not fully yet, but enough for you to feel the energy of your calling rising like a gentle tide. You are beginning to sense the weight of what you were created to do, not as pressure, but as purpose. There is a message about your past that heaven wants to bring into clarity. You went through a season when everything seemed to crumble, when connections dissolved, when opportunities fell apart, and when confusion clouded your path. You assumed this was misfortune. You assumed you were being punished. You assumed life was falling out of your hands. But Michael reveals that the season was divine dismantling. Heaven was removing what you would have mistakenly built your future upon. You were being redirected, not rejected. Every loss cleared the ground for a foundation that could carry the full weight of your calling. The collapse was construction in disguise. You may have wondered why you had to face so much alone. Why certain people who should have understood you misunderstood you. Why those who should have supported you became distant. Michael says solitude was chosen for you because certain parts of your purpose could only be awakened in silence. When you were alone, heaven could speak without interference. When you felt isolated, heaven was closest. When you felt abandoned, angels were surrounding you. Your solitude was not emptiness, it was intimacy. There is also a revelation about your spiritual authority. Michael shows that your prayers carry weight in the spirit. Your words shift atmospheres. Your faith has moved mountains you didn't even know were standing in your way. You have disarmed attacks without realizing it. You have broken generational patterns simply by refusing to repeat them. You have changed spiritual climates through your obedience. Heaven honors you more than you know. The strength you carry is not accidental. It is inherited. You are walking in the lineage of divine warriors. Your intuition has been awakening because it is about to become a compass guiding you into unfamiliar territory. You will soon face choices that do not come with obvious answers. You will be invited into opportunities that stretch your courage. You will be placed in environments that require spiritual sensitivity. Michael says do not rely on logic alone. Rely on your spirit. Heaven will speak to you through inner knowing more than external signs in this season. Your discernment is your guide. Listen closely, because this part carries deep urgency. The next step of your journey requires you to release any remnants of self-doubt. Doubt will weaken your momentum. Doubt will make you question what heaven is confirming. Doubt will cause you to hesitate when heaven needs you to move. Michael says your destiny is too important to be delayed by uncertainty. Heaven believes in you. Now it is time for you to believe in yourself with the same conviction. There is a powerful truth unfolding here. The environment you are stepping into will expand you. The opportunities you are being prepared for will elevate you. The people heaven is sending into your life will support you, not drain you. You are rising into a season where you will feel seen, understood, valued, and aligned. Your spirit will breathe again. Your confidence will return. Your purpose will ignite. You are not transitioning into a small moment. You are crossing into a chapter that will alter the entire trajectory of your destiny. Heaven has waited for this. Your soul has longed for this. Your life is ready for this. The next revelation will bring the final clarity that ties every part of your journey together. Before moving to the next release, type "I step into my purpose" in the comments if this resonates within your spirit. Blessing code 4554 has now been activated. Beloved heart, there is a holy quietness surrounding you now, a divine stillness that only appears when heaven is preparing to reveal the final thread of a message that has been woven through your spirit from the very first moment you were drawn here. Archangel Michael stands in full radiance beside you, not as a distant guardian, but as a witness to the transformation your soul has undergone through every layer of this journey. His presence feels different in this moment, not gentle, not corrective, but celebratory. You have arrived at the revelation that heaven has been guiding you toward from the beginning. Everything you have walked through, every part of this unfolding message, has been preparing your heart for the truth that is now ready to be placed in your hands. Michael reveals that your entire journey has been a divine initiation. You were not simply surviving life, you were being shaped for purpose. Every challenge strengthened you. Every heartbreak purified you. Every delay refined you. Every disappointment redirected you. Heaven was not taking from you, heaven was preparing you. Your destiny required depth, clarity, resilience, compassion, and spiritual intelligence. These qualities are not accidental within you. They were carved into your character through experiences that felt painful, lonely, confusing, and overwhelming. But all of them were necessary to prepare you for what you are now stepping into. There is a profound truth Michael now unveils. You have completed a spiritual cycle that began years ago. This cycle shaped your identity, challenged your beliefs, tested your endurance, and stretched your heart more than you ever thought possible. But it is done. You have crossed the threshold. You are no longer who you were when this cycle began. The version of you that struggled, feared, doubted, and hesitated has dissolved. You are rising as the version heaven always intended you to become, aligned, awakened, strengthened, and illuminated. Heaven's timing has brought you to a place where clarity is not a request, but a gift. Michael says the fog that once clouded your path is lifting. You will begin to see with new eyes, eyes that can discern opportunity from distraction, truth from illusion, alignment from attachment. You will feel guided, not lost. You will feel empowered, not uncertain. You will sense heaven's presence in your decisions, your steps, and your relationships. What once felt complicated will become simple because your spirit has matured beyond confusion. There is a sacred message about your calling. You are entering a season where your gifts will activate in ways you have not yet experienced. Your intuition will sharpen. Your creativity will expand. Your compassion will deepen. Your wisdom will grow. Your presence will carry weight. You will find yourself speaking, creating, or moving in ways that feel guided by a force greater than your own understanding. Michael says this is because you are stepping into the dimension of your life where purpose takes the lead. This is not a season of wandering. This is a season of assignment. You may have asked heaven at times, why me? Why this journey? Why these burdens? And the answer is revealed now, because you were chosen. Because your soul carried a strength and sensitivity that made you capable of walking this path. Because your heart was designed to carry light even when surrounded by darkness. Because your destiny is not ordinary. Because your life is meant to impact others in ways you do not yet fully comprehend. Michael says you were never random. You were intentional. There is also a message about divine recompense. What you lost will return in a higher form. What you sacrificed will yield greater reward. What was taken from you unjustly will be restored with divine justice. You will receive opportunities that once felt impossible. You will attract connections that align with your spirit. You will walk into environments that honor your growth. Heaven is not only guiding you, it is rewarding you. Michael wants you to understand this. Your life is shifting into a chapter where alignment becomes effortless. You will not have to chase. You will not have to beg. You will not have to force. What is meant for you will recognize you. What is destined for you will magnetize toward you. What belongs to you will arrive with peace, clarity, and confirmation. Heaven is sealing this message with one final truth. You have not been reading this by accident. You were led here because heaven waited for this exact moment in your life. You were destined to receive this revelation. You were meant to awaken at this time. You are stepping into the greatest transformation of your journey, and nothing from your past can stop what heaven has decreed over your future. Now, beloved, take this final breath of divine truth into your spirit. You are ready. You are aligned. You are chosen. And the timing of heaven has never been more perfect. Before you step into the next dimension of this journey, type "I claim my heavenly destiny" in the comments if this message ignites your spirit. Blessing code 7777 has now been released. If this message has spoken into your soul, take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe so that heaven's guidance continues reaching the hearts that are meant to hear it. Heaven moves through willing vessels, and when you support this mission, you become part of God's movement through this world. Michael shows rivers of light flowing from these messages, touching souls who are in their darkest hour, and your support becomes the bridge that carries that light into places we cannot reach alone. God speaks the promise, "I will multiply the seed you sow, and I will open the gates that no man can shut," not as a verse, but as a living breath over your life. I speak this with authority. I invite you to stand with us now as heaven calls. When you sow through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, your giving becomes an act of faith that heaven immediately honors. To every giver, I release prophetic increase, supernatural covering, and divine elevation. Step boldly, support this mission, and align yourself with the very timing God has chosen for your breakthrough.